Last time we were discussing the message And koop te kande jade kar kirpa das nadar nihaalee gun gaave pooran abinasi keh sin tooNhai agan-aa. And means darkness. Koop means a well. Kanda means the edge. And koop te kande jade. His grace pulls out the seeker from the dark well of ignorance and places him on the edge of that well. What does this mean? Very metaphorical. The message is that if you are currently seeking something, if you have a certain itching in your heart that something is missing, and what is that, I need to find out. If that urge is in you, then His grace will be granted to you without you asking for it, because He is inside you, He knows it. He knows the truth that you are a real seeker, not a fake. What's the difference between a fake and a real seeker? The fake is only interested in earning the brownie points from the society. That's it. So long you are telling me on my face that I am a great guy, that's enough for me. Whether I am a great guy inside, whether he says and he knows that I am not a great guy, is irrelevant. That is a true sign of a fake, who only wants to be praised by the society. And the society includes your family, your friends, your children, your parents, your brothers and sisters. They are all included in here. If you are able to fool all of them, then you feel very good about it. And when you feel good about it, that energy ignores you completely. It says you are playing, you are having fun, go play and have fun. The nature would not, the Creator would not pay any attention, and He would not punish you for this either. You will not get any damage caused by Him. The damage is because of your actions, if there is any. It's because of your choices. But if you are a true seeker, who is only interested in finding out how do I make a choice that brings me closer to you, So I seek your guidance. I seek your counsel. Because right now, where am I? I am in the well of ignorance. I am in andhakoop, a dark well. Dark well of ignorance, maybe even an innocence that you have never been told about it. Or if you have been told about it, you have ignored it. And now you are truly seeking. And if you are truly seeking, His grace will do what? Andhakoop te kande char. He will bring you out. So that now, next step can be taken. And what is that next step? Earlier you were in the darkness. Now you are sitting on the top. Now you are in the light. Now you can see the good from the bad, the right from the wrong. Your journey has started. Because He has extended His hand. Kande word is also expressed as a thorn, a prickly thorn. The ignorance will always carry the thorn with it. So if you want to avoid the thorn, you go to a park and you see a rose bush and you want to get to the flower, the rose. And if it is darkness, what's going to happen? A few of the thorns are certainly going to hurt you because you are in darkness. In order to avoid the thorns and just get the rose, you need a light. In order to get the message in its pure form, you need some wisdom, some light. And that light comes from His grace. Andhakoop te kande chade, kar kirpa das nadar nihaalee. Then He gives you the benediction, nadar, the eyes, the eyesight, the light, so that you can see it. You don't need to ask now what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do. Now you are capable of looking at everything and seeing it in clear light. That this is what I have been doing, this is what the result is. Now I see that my methodology requires a change, a transformation. And when you are able to see that, where do you go now? What happens from there on? Gun gaave pooran abanasi keh sun tooNhai. Suddenly your gratitude for Him increases. The wow factor. When something catches you and you have no words for it, right? What do we say? Wow. That's it. What else can you say? I mean, if your child was to ask you, Mommy, what do you mean by this? Wow. I looked up at the dictionary. It doesn't say anyway. Can you explain to me? And your automatic response is going to be, Sunny, if I could say something, I would not have used the word vaa-o. I would have said that. The vaa-o is meant for where the language fails you. Isn't it? When you listen to a good artist, all you can say, wow. That's it. That is the only thing you can say about the Creator. By what? That's it. That's enough. Your wow factor for Him, your gratitude for Him suddenly starts expanding, because now you are seeing it and now you are gun-gaavani. And if somebody asks you, all you can say, look at this. Look at His creation. I was watching a little video today. The title was the Birds of Paradise. There are 40 very exotic birds, and they are only found in the rainforest of Brazil, nowhere else in the world. There is a 9 minutes video of showing various birds and their structure and their dances and their singing and their voices and the colors and so forth. And they are all documented now, and they are saying that the evolution cannot explain this. What is the advantage of this bird having these long this and that and this? Wonderful. And all, there are 2 scientists who have devoted their life in living in that jungle, rainforest, and picturizing them and documenting their behavior. They just live there. They have little whole place arranged for themselves. And all they are saying is, it's just not possible to put any words to this. If evolution created these birds, why they are only stuck in here? The same atmosphere is available everywhere around the globe. Your gratitude increases. And all you can tell is, every moment you are talking to somebody and saying, listen to this, see this, think about this. That is called gun-gaavani, singing the praise. 24 hours, day in, day out, at the slightest excuse, you bring His wonder of creation into the conversation. Who is that? Gun-gaave Puran Abhinashi. The one who is indestructible, is complete in every possible aspect you can think of. And the beauty of that state, to be in that space, is you never run out of words to say, and you never get tired of listening to this. Provided you are a true seeker. Otherwise you will say, come on here. Now let's change that topic. I'm bored of listening to the same thing again and again and again. And the interesting thing is, every Friday we say the same thing again and again and again. But you still feel I need to hear it. Right? I still feel I need to say it. Because it is endless. It is unlimited. How many times we have used this word infinite, omniscient, omnipowerful, omni-knowing, but the same word. You can listen to Islam and say he's all merciful, all merciful, all merciful, all knowing. You read the Quran, these two words are repeated again and again. He's all knowing and he's all merciful. And if you say, well, we have heard you, now be quiet. We never say that. Every ayat of Quran says this. Allah is all merciful and all knowing, all forgiving. Okay, fine. Write it on the top of the page and we are done with it. We don't want to repeat it. No. Quran will repeat at every possible chance. The seer does not get tired of it, the listener doesn't get tired of it. Why? Gun gaave pooran abnasi. Keh means to say, sun means to listen, tooNhai. Never get tired of it. What is the secret behind it? Think about it. Go beyond the words now. The seeker is limited and is yearning to be with the unlimited. So if that is the case, till you get there, how can you get tired of hearing or tired of saying? Because there is an urge. What is the urge? For whatever reason I separated from you is not important anymore. I want to get back. I want to go to my home. I want to be part of you again. Well, what's the big deal? Why? Because I have tasted that existence which is eternally blissful. I was once part of you. And I have tasted that. That memory is somewhere deep buried in my consciousness. I want to get back to that. Because this one, where I am, is all duality. This one, nothing stays the same forever. The smile changes into tears, and tears change into smile, and the night changes into day, and day into darkness, happiness into sadness, on and on and on. But staying in that complete blissfulness without ever changing, that's only possible if I get back to you. When the child is in the arms of the mother, what is the worry? What is the concern? It's just hidden, cuddled up. But as soon as the child goes out, now the child has to face the outside world, the weather, and the whole 9 yards. He has to face it. But while in the arms of the mother, nothing needs to be faced. Mother faces everything for the child. Similarly, if the entity goes to and say, I'm going to stay right here, in your arms, in your lap, now where is the worry? hot air, cold air, how does it matter? Once you develop that yearning, then that journey starts. What is that journey? Aithai, othai, tooNhai, rakhvaalaa. Living, aithai means living in this dimension. Othai means merging into his world. Remember, we are not talking of a heaven or a hell. We have talked about it. There are no heavens and there are no hells. These are the constructs created by the organized religion to keep the humanity under control, make them follow their whims and fancies. Nothing more, nothing less. We are talking of completing the cycle. So this dimension still in the cycle. That dimension out of all cycles. Finished once for all. For the seeker whose journey has started, this is a prerequisite, which is Aithai, othai, tooNhai, rakhvaalaa. You are the protector regardless of in which dimension I am, regardless of what state of existence I am. You are the protector. A non-seeker will find the protector in this dimension. Because if you ask a child, who's your protector? And the child innocently will say, my father, my mother. As that child grows up, then the father and mother stops being the protector and he says, I stand on my own. I am a self-made man. I read a cartoon. God is talking to the man and says, I very, very clearly remember making you. How do you call yourself a self-made man? I clearly remember who made you. And now you are declaring I am a self-made man? Then I am my own protector. And if the journey continues and the seeking starts, now neither the parents are protectors nor I am the protector. He is the protector. These are all shift in consciousness. Belief systems are shifting. As we are growing, the belief systems are also growing and expanding. And we can all go through our memory lane and see as a children what we used to think, and then as teenagers what we used to think, and then as adults what we used to think, and as now that journey is going on, how our thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, knowledge, information, everything is shifting. How do you build that belief system? Aithai, othai, tooNhai, rakhvaalaa. We are reminded. He says you don't need to go far to develop that belief. to see the truth in this. Next statement is maat garabh mein tooNhai paalaa. He says you don't need to go any far. You can, for yourself, by yourself, sitting right here, just think. When your mother was carrying you in the womb, who was taking care of you? Think about it. And if you are honest about your thinking, if you are a true seeker, you will reach the same conclusion, which is Aithai, othai, tooNhai, rakhvaalaa. Because neither your mother was taking care of you, nor your father was taking care of you, nor you were taking care of yourself. He was. And if you need to discuss it in detail, we can go into it. Aithai, othai, tooNhai, rakhvaalaa. Maat garabh mein tooNhai paalaa. maa-i-aa agan na pohai tinko rang ratay gun gaavani-aa. The next test. The first example is when you are still in the womb and not outside world. And the next statement says, now you are in the outside world, where there is illusionary world all around you, Maya. Means transient in nature, something which is subject to continuous change. Nothing stays the same even for a moment. You try to catch it, it slips out of you. Maya, the outside world of senses. The same sense can start telling the lie right away. You just change a simple environment. And even you can test it in a scientific way. We know something that we call a room temperature. So you put your finger up and you say, what's the temperature of this room? And you say, well, nothing, everything is fine. Put this finger in the warm water and then pull it and say, hey, what is the temperature here? It says, very cool. No, wait a minute, nothing has changed. How can you say it's now cooler? It is cooler because the finger came out of the hotter water. Your sense of touch will start telling you the lie right away depending upon the environment that sense is. Same true of ears, eyes, nose, tongue. Anyone who has visited a Napa Valley and have gone to the wine tasters, what do? How do you taste wines? They tell you, first just squirrel in your mouth and don't swallow it. Throw it out. And then take the next sip. Now your tongue may be able to tell you the truth. First time it was lying to you. That is not the taste of the wine. Same is the case with all four senses. You all have a cup of tea in your hand. You know every cup of tea has a sugar. Get a sweet cake there along with it and then find out how much sugar is in that cup of tea. All these examples are telling you that the world, outside world, you are going to experience with your senses. And the senses are always going to lie to you. Not deliberately, that's how they are designed. And if you are not fooled by your senses and you are able to keep your bearing in touch, who do you think is helping you? How you are able to maintain that? Maa-i-aa agan na pohai tooN. Those who are the true seekers, then the world of senses cannot ever deceive them. But those who are not the seekers, they will see the world, taste the world with the senses, and then they will fight with each other. One will say, no, this is right, the other will say, no, this is right, you are wrong, I have seen it, experienced it, known it for myself, I am just coming from there on, and we are willing to kill or die for it. Why? Maa-i-aa agan na pohai tooN. This world of senses only free those who ratay gaavani-aa. Those are the true seekers. Those who are immersed into your memory. Then the senses would not bother them. That doesn't fit well with me. It's the same brain, it's the same body. How is my meditation helping me to free myself? It is helping you to keep that observer which you call your brain, the one who was feeling it, that brain has been occupied somewhere else now. It's not devoting that much energy or time to your senses world. You can conduct this experiment, the truth of this statement. Eat your breakfast without reading the paper, watching the TV, listening to the telephone, reading the newspaper or anything. Just eat. And experience the taste of the food. You can keep the same menu and 2-3 hours later on, bring the same dish, now turn on the TV and watch on and everything and let the mind get busy. And now eat. And then compare the taste. The lady of the house knows this fact very well. Because when the man is watching the TV and reading the magazine and at the same time eating, at the end of the meal he says, how was it? Oh, everything was okay. No, you didn't even taste anything. Oh, I ate it. Yes, you swallowed the damn thing. Because your mind was watching the TV. You were not worried about my cooking. These are very practical things in life. You can see, if the mind is meditative and the memory and thought is focused on Him, you will free yourself of the senses. They won't bother you. You would know there is a little bit more salt, less pepper, etc. Because now that which was going to discriminate is not busy discriminating, it is busy remembering. Remember. Rejoin. Become a member again. That's what remember means. Re plus member. Become his member again. Remember him. maa-i-aa agan na pohai tinko rang ratay gun gaavani-aa. Kya gun tere aakh samaalee man tan andar tuDh nadar nihaalee. Tu mera meet sajan mayraa su-aamee. tuDh bin avar na jaanni-aa. Now you are completely in the vaa-o world. There is a word which doesn't have exact translation in English other than blissfulness. But our language in that sense is very rich in describing these. The word is vismaat. You are in vismaat. You are in a state of awe about the Creator and His creation. Because you can go into the wow factor if you are in touch with it simply by thinking about different type of sounds. Visamada nada. Just the sound. Nada means sound. Just as your thumbprint is unique, your sound is unique. Your sound print is unique. Your sound print is admissible in the court of law as a unique identifier. Not only your sound from here. The sound of your walking, your feet, is different than each other. You have experienced it, have you not? The door may be closed. Somebody is walking toward the door and you can sit inside and say, open the door, so and so is coming. How do you know that? By the footsteps. Why? Because it's unique. Different for different people. So a mystic doesn't need to go in the wow factor in any complicated way. Just think of the sound. How much different type of sound the wind makes. Different type of sounds the water makes. Water falling on water is different. Water falling on the stone is different. Water falling on a leaf is different. On and on and on. If you start thinking of this alone, you will go into the wow factor right away. Visma. So, kya gun teri aakh samaalee? How can I ever, how can the limited ever imagine all the things about the unlimited? Isn't it an oxymoron that a science can know the Creator? No matter how big the instruments are still limited. But of course, man's ego is man's ego. Earlier, the size of this camera lens was enough for the telescope. Now we have a telescope circling the globe with 35 feet diameter lens. That's the size of our Hubble telescope. And now they are going to triple the size. Those lenses are being made right now. Okay, fine, continue. Keep on digging your ditch as deeper as you want. If for the mystic, there is no discussion about it, which is, kya gun tere aakh samaalee? How can I count your characteristics? Because I am limited, you are unlimited. Gun, characteristics. Kya gun tere? How can I ever have an understanding of all of the characteristics? Even if 7 billion people on the planet and everyone takes the lifetime to count some aspect and we add that all together, it is still limited, is it not? If everyone says, I am doing the research on these 10 characteristics of the creation, so okay, fine. And 7 billion people take different 10 characteristics, that is 70 billion characteristics of the creator. It is still limited. They are not infinite. A mystic knows this, accepts this, does not argue about it, does not fight about it. He just surrenders and goes into the vaa field. Vaa. Visma. State of complete vaa. Complete awe. Kya gun teri aakh samaalee, man tan andar tooNhai. He says that all I can do is continue evolving so that I can experience you from within. That's the best I can. A human can do best by keep on endeavoring to see from inside. Kya gun teri aakh samaalee, I cannot count. Man tan andar tuDh nadar nihaalee. Man means mind, tan means body. Mind-body system I can use to see you from within, as my master has already done it. My master has seen it, done it, and he's saying, you can also do it. But in order to accomplish that task, tu mera meet sajan mera su-aamee tuDh bin avar na jaanni-aa. This is a requirement now. Everybody else is just an acquaintance. I just know of them. That's it. I have no more relationship with them. All relationships come down to tu mera meet. You are the friend. You are the master. And without you, there is no other master. I don't accept anybody else. No matter how holy they are, how high they are, how many miracles they can show, I am not distracted. In the Christian world, there is a parable, there is a story that the Jesus is meditating one day. And someone appears in front of him and say, whosoever you are praying to, that is me. And I have accepted you. If you don't trust me, you can go and walk on the water and you will not sink. Or you can jump from this hill and you will not die. And the Jesus looks at this energy and says, doing that would mean that I don't trust my Father. The only reason you test somebody that you don't trust what they are saying. I know you are not him. I recognize you. The negative, my ego. He calls him devil. I know that my devil. And I'm neither jumping from the hill and nor I'm going to walk on the water, because I trust my Father explicitly. That is the sign of a true seeker. Not distracted by anything. tooDh avar na jaanne. I don't care who presents to me as the God personified. I am not accepting it. I am not buying it. Pope is not my God. No matter how holy he is. तू मेरा मीत साजन मेरा स्वामी, तुद बिन अवर न जानने, जिस कियो तू प्रभ पया सहाई, तिस तत्ती वाओ न लगे काई, तू साहिब शरण सुख-दाता सतसंगत जप प्रगटावनि-aa. जिस कियो, whosoever is blessed by him, जिस कियो तू प्रभ भया सहाय. If anything is happening, sahaa-ee literally means a helper, somebody who helps you to move. It is your help. And if you are the helper, then one thing is guaranteed, which is tatti vaa-o na lage kaa-ee. If you are the true helper, then the negative and positive both are going to disappear. Tatti literally means heart. Vaa-o means air. But it is a metaphor for hot and cold. The air may be hot or air may be cold. But if you are the protector, the person is in a complete neutral stage. It doesn't bother. Tu sahib saran sukh-daata. You are greater than the greatest. Sat sangat jap pragataavani-aa. And whenever collective energy of the meditation, sat sangat. Sangat means the collection, sat means the truth. When the collective energy of the truth is accumulated enough inside, then you automatically manifest. Pargataavani-aa, you show yourself to that individual. Tu uj atha apar amola. You are greater than the greatest. You are priceless. No value can be placed. Tu sacha sahib das tera gola. Since you are the true master, my only relationship with you is master and the slave. And we have talked about this. Why this relation is preferred than all other models presented by other system of thought. Father, son, lovers, helpers, workers, masters. No, slave and the owner. Tu sacha sahib, you are the true master. Das tera gola. Your slave. That's the relationship, because in this relationship, the ego can never ever raise its head, and the relationship can go for eternity. The relationship of father and his son will go unless the son is grown up. The relationship of the lovers can remain only if both are equal at all levels, which is never the case, cannot be the case. But you remain a servant, a slave forever. Those who belong to richer or royal families, they know that they have also servants who are going generation after generation. The father was working there, and the daughter was working there, and then the son is working there, and his son is working there. As the generation goes on, the generations of workers also are continuing. It's very common. Particularly in the Islamic dynasties, this was a very, very strong tradition. And in certain of the Nawabs and Jagirdars and all that, that tradition still continues. So what I'm saying is that even in a physical world, much less the spiritual world, even in the physical world, the relationship of a servant and a master is a much longer lasting than any other relation. Tu sacha sahib das tera gola, tu mera, tu meera sachi thukarai. Nanak bal bal jaavani-aa. Tu meera. You are the master. Sachi thakuraa-ee. But that master belongs to the truthful world, Sachi, the pure. It's not a physical connection, it's a mystical connection. It is a spiritual connection. And how do you maintain it? Nanak bal bal jaavani-aa. Doing the obvious for a slave. What's the obvious of a slave? Surrender. Surrender your ego. Surrender yourself. To who? To the master. So the way to start the journey, the requirement is be truthful, be sincere if you want the journey to continue. And if the journey continues, the rewards are automatic by His grace. So that's it. Hymn number 37 on page 131, 132. And we'll take a pause here. Thanks for coming. Now if there is any comment or question, the lines are still open.